First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello and welcome back to Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining us wherever you are. I always say this, but I do appreciate it. Whether you're watching on our YouTube live stream, on our apps, or our website, thanks for being here with us every week. And we get to have a lot of fun conversations here in addition to deep dives and all kinds of things. But today is a fun one because we have Eric G., as you can already see there on the lower third, Eric G. from Around the House Northwest joining us right now as you do every week. Eric, always good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. Thanks for having me on.
And Eric always has the best tips. I will say last week, one of the ones that you already brought up, I went out and asked my insurance company if I could get it again. What was that thing called? It was the Ting Fire?
That's the Ting Fire, the sensor to make sure that you don't have any electrical fires in your house.
Yeah, that was a great tip that I am awaiting mine right now. So I'm excited to hear, though, what we've got for this week. Go ahead and tell us what you want to talk about.
Oh, man. So appliance maintenance, it's the one thing that, people are trained to like change the oil in their cars and do stuff around the house. But appliances are the ones that get forgotten all the time, right? When was the last time you maintained your appliance?
I don't know. Only when it breaks.
Right? That's what happens. So, you go down the list. Like, for instance, your oven. When was the last time you actually adjusted the temperature so when you set it to 400 degrees, that it's actually at 400 degrees? And almost every oven you can adapt that to make sure that the temperature is dead on.
I'm going to admit, I didn't even know you could do that. So you're talking to the right person.
Depending on the oven you have, just run on, Google, look up your model number. And then all you need to do is take like a barbecue thermometer or an oven thermometer, stick it in there in the middle shelf. And all you have to do is turn it up to 400 degrees. Now, a regular oven is going to swing probably anywhere from 25 to 50 degrees as it goes. Wow. And that's okay. But you're trying to find where that median temperature is. When I did the one in my last house, it was 70 degrees off. And so I was cooking at a way different temperature than I thought I was.
70 degrees difference based on that? That's insane. Okay, that is a good tip. I now know that I can do that, and I should do that. Who knows what I've been cooking
Now, the
at?
one thing is you will have to relearn all your recipes. So if you want to leave it that way, it's okay. It's not hurting anything. But if you go, hey, I always put this in for 20 minutes, it could be 15 or 25 now. So you might have to figure that part out on your own.
If you don't want to live in ignorance, then maybe, figure out what it is.
Absolutely.
That you're cooking at. All right, that is a fantastic one.
Now, one of the easiest ones, it can be a little messy sometimes, is, the front load washing machines out there. You open the front door, you put your laundry in.
Yep.
On almost every model, there is a filter before the drain that needs to be changed. So if you go in there and if you pull open your door, you pull your clothes out and you're like, wow, these towels are still kind of wet. Before you call the service person, you probably didn't check that filter. So there's a filter that grabs anything that was left in your pockets. It could have been hairpins, coins. In my world, it's screws and bolts and things like that, and nails that were in my clothes before I put them through there. And then you'll find them down there. You should probably open that up if you're not real diligent about cleaning everything out before you wash it. Probably every 4 to 6 months, I'd be changing that filter out. And all you have to do is drain the water out, pull the thing out, and empty it out, put it back in. It's not like you have to buy a special filter. You're just basically changing out that little cage that has grabbed all the stuff, and it's there to protect the pump so you don't have to put a $300 or $400 part in your washing machine.
And that's in pretty much every front loading washer?
Every front load washer, because on a top load you have that big drum that spins. Those little holes do a pretty good job, so it doesn't really get anything big in there, so it's not really an issue.
Okay, all right. That's 2 tips down, two great ones right there. What else do you do with appliances?
Another one with the washing machine, check the hoses behind it, because those rubber hoses only last about 5 years before they start going out, and it's one of the biggest water damage complaints you'll have inside your house. So if you look behind the washing machine and you see black hoses, and if they're more than a handful of years old, put in some nice braided steel ones. They've got that kind of stainless steel look. Those will hold up a lot better, because when a washing machine turns off and on, it's electronic. So it's like turning your faucet on hard every single time, and those hoses just do this all day long when you're doing laundry, and eventually they bubble up and fail, and then you got a garden hose loose in your house as far as how much water's going.
Yeah, that's not good. I definitely don't want that. So how many years did you say that you should?
5 years is probably the max I would let those go without changing those out when they're just a black rubber hose.
Okay, and the braided steel ones, those are the
You'll last a lot longer. You can probably get 8 to 10 out of those pretty easy. I've seen those last as long as the washing machine. So those have a lot more support to the hose, so they don't fail like that.
Okay, so check your oven temperature, see what you're cooking at, see if you're drastically undercooking something, for myself anyway. And then if you have a front load washer, change out that filter and check your washing hoses, the hoses for your washer.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the other one, too, is on the dryer. Make sure you don't have that white plastic dryer hose going out the back. So look behind your dryer. Those are really flammable, and they're not really meant to be used as dryer hoses. So you want some kind of a metal hose back there. So just take a look at that, because that'll keep you from having a dryer fire with that, because that lint will get caught up with the plastic. The plastic loves static electricity, and you have a fire. So that's a good way to prevent a dryer fire.
So the white plastic ones, get rid of those.
Get rid of those. They're not rated for it. They should never even be sold as that. And
man, why do they even sell them?
If you have a professional one installed, like you go buy your new appliance, they'll never put them on there.
Okay. All right. So, and you can pick up those, I'm sure, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Okay.
And then there's a myth that I want to tackle too with dishwashers. Don't pre-wash your dishes. Scrape them off, but you'll actually have dirtier dishes if you pre-rinse them, because years ago they changed away from the phosphates that were in the dishwasher detergents. Did a great job of cleaning your dishes, but were horrible for the environment. Now these are enzyme based, so you need to have some food on the dishes for the enzyme to activate to actually clean. So if you pre-rinse them, you're wasting water and you're not letting those enzymes activate, so you're only getting about half of the value of the soap. So scrape them and then stick them in the dishwasher, and you should be good.
That's even better then. So it's less work and better all around.
Yeah, and then just get a good detergent. The cheap detergents don't work well, and if you get a decent detergent, it'll pay for itself pretty quick.
What constitutes a decent detergent?
I like the name brand ones, or if the big box store brands are good, but I tend to go with if you're a Costco person, those are made by a big brand, but they're under a different label, for instance. But really, any of the big name brands that you see out there, the more premium ones, will do a better job, because a lot of those, like there's a lot of different brands, but like the Cascades and all the different stuff out there, those were designed for use when those. So, when the appliance companies make them, that's why they kind of give you, when you buy a new appliance, that little trial in there. That's also to say, hey, that's the one that we designed this unit around. It will work best with this brand.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That is another great tip. All things for your home appliances. I've learned a lot here. What else you got? You just keep bringing them.
Your refrigerator. When was the last time you took that little cover off down below and vacuumed all the dust bunnies out of there?
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
About every 6 months that should happen. If you have pets, probably every 90 days. Because all of a sudden you get a woven blanket down there, and those are coils. And so it's like putting an insulation around the wrong part of that. That's trying to transfer heat, so you're making it work harder. And you could actually shorten the life of the refrigerator by doing that. You can take years off if you don't maintain that.
That is very good tip. So get under there, vacuum it all out, make sure that I do have a dog with a lot of hair, so I'm sure it's under there, and I just didn't realize it. Okay. All right. This is good things. I love your tips, because they're going to help me out a lot. Also, I feel like shaming myself for not knowing this stuff, and this is why you're helping me out. You're not saying it in a shameful way. I'm just realizing what
this is stuff that no one's ever told anybody what to do. Yeah. And it's just like if you're a homeowner and you've got a water heater, especially if you have hard water, you should be turning the gas or the power off to that and flushing that out. If you've got a newer water heater, you should be flushing that out, especially with hard water, every couple of years, to make sure you don't get sediment built up. Because if you've got high mineral content, like a lot of areas do in our, a lot of homes do in our area, that will actually fill up with sediment. So your 50-gallon water heater might only be holding 30 gallons because you've got 20 gallons of junk in there that is all limescale deposit. And many times your element will be buried on an electric one, and you'll never get heat out of that. So you'll get a shorter shower, you'll run out of water, and it'll save you a ton of money. So a little bit of flushing goes a long ways.
So just shut it off, flush it out, and then go right back to it? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to, when you flush it out, you want to turn, like if it's an electric one or a gas one, you want to turn that power off because it'll try to heat up with that cold water. And that's how you'll burn elements up or burn it up. So you don't want to have that.
Okay, so shut that off as well. All right. That's
Exactly.
very good tip. So we've just knocked out like 5 or 6 right there.
Yeah, last one that's a really big one is the vent hood in your kitchen. Make sure that you've cleaned that out and make sure that's all clean up there. If you're not cleaning that regularly, and if you have a cooktop fire, for instance, that grease is flammable, and it'll get much worse if you don't. And always make sure that vent is venting to the outside of the home. Those recycle ones don't work at all, and so that is your biggest pollutant to indoor air quality, is not using your range hood. And if you're using one that puts it back and blows it in your face, those don't work.
Okay. Man, these are great tips. And what I'm going to be doing after this is going back through and watching this again just so I can hear them and knock out each one of these things at home, because I definitely know I'm going to be vacuuming under my fridge for sure when I get home, because I didn't even
some
think
energy,
about that.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And the lifespan. I want that thing to last for a while. Eric, as everybody knows, Around the House Northwest is the brand new episode's coming out this weekend. I know I have some footage here from part of it. I believe it's from,
I'm still sore from this project.
So what is the project that you're going to be doing?
So that project there, I actually put in a smart skylight in my home. So what that skylight does is I had to cut a hole in my roof and put that in and get it all waterproof, so it'll take our weather. But that skylight is so smart that if I'm having a party over at my house and I get too much CO2 in it, and all of a sudden, people don't get tired from maybe too much eating. Most of the time, it's you got enough people in there and you have less oxygen, so it makes you tired. So that will actually automatically open up and ventilate the house automatically, and it's solar powered. And if it's raining, it'll automatically shut it for me.
So you just there it is. You just straight up cut a hole in your roof.
Yep.
So it's solar powered and smart and will automatically open up.
You got it.
That's amazing. You make it look so easy though.
Yeah, that was a long day. It is a DIY project that just about anybody can tackle if you've got medium DIY skills. The worst part is just standing on the roof for 4 or 5 hours, because that gets old pretty quick.
Yeah, that would be the part that would be rough for me. But man, that looks cool. I see it now again. Now I just want to go get all this stuff. These are the things that I want. I'm like, that's awesome. But that's part of the great thing too about Around the House Northwest is just seeing you show us all these projects, give us all these tips, cool stuff that you can do yourself, and follow your guidelines. And every week, pretty much I'm learning about something else I want. So.
Yeah, and then we've got 3 other segments too that are in the show. We've got we go out and visit Pacific Crest Custom Cabinetry, and we make custom cabinetry out there. So we watch them build custom cabinetry for your house. And then we went down and visited Chown Hardware here in Portland, which has been around for 144 years. We go take a look at high-end luxury finishes for your home down there. And then I've got my friend Sarah Listy coming on talking power tools. She's from Tool Girls Garage. You've seen all across the country on social media.
Very cool. And that's remind everybody what time that is. And then I know there's the last week's episode is still airing as well.
Yeah, that'll air. Last week's episode will air tomorrow morning, Fox 12 Plus, Friday morning, 8 a.m. And then Around the House Northwest, brand new episode, 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus. And then it'll re-air on Sunday night as well at 6 p.m.
Awesome. Well, Eric, always so good to have you on here. And your studio, as always, looks badass. And thanks for joining us. It's a lot of fun, and you'll be back here next week.
You got it. Might be in studio next week, so we'll have to figure out that one. I think I will be, so I'll be able to come visit you in there.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Eric.
Thanks,
Talk
brother.
to you soon. All right, there we go. Eric G. right here on Fox 12 Now. And again, this show, we get to talk about all kinds of things here as part of Fox 12 Now. Earlier today, we talked about the Independent Districting Commission. That is talking about how Portland is going to be divided up into different geographic regions. This segment, we're talking to Eric G. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to be doing some actual boating and ocean boating, specifically safety tips. We've got a whole segment on that that's coming up, plus a tour that I believe is exclusive of the building of the Portland Soho House. Yes, Portland now is getting a Soho House. We were allowed in to go on a tour. I talked to the founder, and that is going to be airing tomorrow as well. So you'll want to be right back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. That's when we kick it all off here for Fox 12 Now. And of course, if there's any breaking news that happens, this is another great place to go because we will cover that. We'll bring you that, especially here in the afternoons. And if you have ideas for segments, feel free to send in an email, fox12now@kptv.com. Let me know what they are, and we'll see if we can schedule something out. We've got a lot of great things, some interesting things, some deep dives, some cool things as well that are all coming up here as part of the show in the coming weeks. So I appreciate all of you joining us. Signing off for right now. I will be back tomorrow with more Fox 12 Now. Thanks for joining. I'm Greg Nibbler.